You're on the Beyond Africa podcast where we discuss everything Africa. Today we're discussing the church in Africa. And I want to shift gears to Father Joseph Dufay. Father Herbert and Father Dennis have said it's not a political organization as most people have want to make us think. But you're on the ground, and maybe did you hear these cardinals talk amongst themselves before the conclave, during their meetings before the conclave, and did you hear any kind of conversations about orientations that the church could be taking in considering the new pope?
Actually, I can't say I heard cardinals talk because it would have been absurd to hear them talk about the type of pope they would have. And prior to the conclave, most of the cardinals also tried not to talk about the situation. But I heard a lot of people talk about the prospects of a new pope and their taste. Clergy, religious, the lay faithful, and people had their dreams or their dream popes in their minds. I quite remember just the evening before the following day when the Pope Leo was elected, our superior just made an opinion poll, just asking each brother, we are 22 in the community, whom do you think is going to be the Pope? And the people were, the friars were giving their own points. When it came to me, I told him that the Pope will certainly be a non-Italian Pope. I think I won because Pope Leo is a non-Italian Pope. Then when it came to his turn, he said he's thinking about Cardinal Prevost. That was my first time of hearing the name Cardinal Prevost. And to my greatest surprise, Cardinal Prevost was here in Loreto on the 10th of December 2023 to celebrate the feast of Our Lady of Loreto. So we have pictures of him that were circulating. And when I started looking at him, I started seeing his thought pattern. Then I said, well, my superior said this. Probably he knows him also better, but this name Prevost was never coming out in the list that I was getting from the people. So one thing I avoided is calling the name of somebody whom I thought could be a candidate because as Fathers Neva and Dennis have said, it's about the Holy Spirit. The cardinals are there to confirm. Then something came to my mind. Just 2 days before the election of Pope Leo, I had written something on my Facebook page on Pope Leo XIII, and I had talked about Rerum Novarum. I think, Father Neba, I should have started teaching Catholic social teaching when you had passed the first year. I have been teaching, I taught that with some of the students in the seminary. So when I finished giving the expose on Pope Leo XIII, I concluded with the following words. I would just like to see if I can have those words immediately with me here. I said, listening to the definition of the type of Pope that the church needs today, it would not be surprising that Pope Leo XIII would again be resurrected either in thought or in name. Just look at that.
Wow.
And when Pope Leo came up, Leo XIV came up and explained his reasons for having chosen the name, I said, if I were some village magician, I should have had so many people around me coming so that I also predict their own stories. You know, actually, I was thinking about the philosophy or the pastoral approach of Pope Francis and linking it with Pope Leo XIII, I realized that there is the possibility of the incoming Pope to take from these two angles. And Pope Leo XIV keeps saying, my predecessor, Pope Leo XIII, and my immediate predecessor, Pope Francis. So he's been making a lot of reference to these two people. It's true, we can always have our expectations, our hopes, but in the end, we should be careful so that our hopes are not shattered, and so that when the Holy Spirit speaks, we all go down on our knees and take the choice that is going to lead the train of the church at a particular time.